What's going on YouTube? It's Vinnie here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install an air intake on a 2011 Honda CRV. Alright guys, so with the 2011 to 2014 Honda CRVs, it's pretty common that, you probably noticed this when you're changing your air filter, that the hose rips. So just so you guys know, that's a pretty common thing on these. For this job, you're going to need a 10mm socket as well as a pair of pliers. Alright guys, so here is the air intake on the 2011 Honda CRV. Down here you're going to have a hose clamp with a 10mm. Up here you're going to have another hose clamp with another 10mm. Up here you're going to have your mass airflow sensor. You're going to want to unplug that if you're removing the air box. Alright, and then over here you're going to have this air bleed tube that goes to the valve cover. This is what you're going to need the pliers for, to get these little clamps off. Another thing to note is this air catch right here that you're going to also have a clamp on. That is going to be around the back down here. You're not going to have to take this off until the intake is out of the car. So the only thing you're going to have to remove is this clip right here that's on there. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and remove the intake. One thing to mention, there's this plastic piece right here that just basically straddles that coolant tube. It just kind of lifts right off. You'll see it when you remove it. Give it a little twist. And then you can see down here, it's just kind of clamped on. That's what I was talking about right there. So there you go. That is your old intake. Get the new intake just to line it up to make sure all the holes match up, and it looks like they do. They look like the same part. So I'm going to go ahead, swap over this air box right onto here with that clamp. Don't forget to put on your hose clamps on both ends. And then it looks like for this plastic piece, it looks like it just pulls straight out, and on the new one you'll just insert it right in there. Make sure when you guys are installing these hose clamps, if they're OEM hose clamps, they come with the correct hole for the intake. There's that hole where that little rubber thing sticks through. Now for this one on the bottom, it has that rubber piece. Make sure you replace it in the same way. The orientation of these could go either way, but the correct way would be to put these bolts facing the driver's side of the car. So if you were to sit this air intake in the vehicle like so, it would sit like this. The driver's side of the car would be over here. Alright, well, that was the end of that clip. Don't really need it anyways, honestly. So what I'm going to do is get some heavy duty silicone and just lube up around the edges to help this air box come off. So I'm not going to twist it out. I'm going to try to pull it straight out like that. So the reason I didn't twist it was because this thing sticking out goes in that hole. So for this new one, I'm just gonna make sure that I put the hose clamp on first. So now you guys can see it's almost all the way in. I had to muscle it in there a little bit. Boom. So you saw that sat in the hole, and this is what looks like fully in, and you can see the clamp's not straight, so you want to make sure you straighten your clamps and have 0 air leaks. And just like that, you have a brand new air intake. We're not going to reinstall this clip because it broke. The plastic gets brittle as it gets old, so not a surprise there. All right, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the air intake. There's also another way of doing this. You can pop off the air box. There's just some clips around the side that you'll click off. But in this case, I'm just going to leave mine on and see how it goes. I'm going to start by getting the bottom on first. Definitely helps to have the hose clamp all the way loose. A little bit of silicone will help the hose slide in all the way. There you go. So it's just a matter of getting the top on and then kind of like working it around the bottom to get it on. There's a little notch right up at the top where if I move this hose, you see that rubber right there? There's a little notch that sits in. That's how you know the hose is straight. Same thing down here on the bottom. So you want to make sure you get your hose fully on, reach around the bottom, and make sure that you can feel that the hose is fully seated on both sides. And then once that's good, you're good to tighten down your 10mm hose clamps. Also, just remember as you're tightening these hose clamps, they are held in position by that rubber tab, so they're not going to slide on you. All right, and so once you start to feel it snug up, you don't have to go crazy. If you put these too tight, you can ruin your new air intake. So you just want to make sure they're snugged up. You don't want to crank them too hard. Make sure to plug back in your mass airflow sensor and put this clip right where that air box is. All right, now you just want to basically double check everything. Hose clamps are both tight. Our clips for this wire's in. This bleed off hose is installed in the side of the tube with the clamp, and our mass airflow sensor is installed. The last thing to do would just be to start up the vehicle and just make sure you're not hearing any hissing noises or getting any check engine lights for any extra air getting pulled into the system. Other than that, if you guys start the vehicle and everything runs good, then I'll say it's a job well done. All right guys, and there you have it. That's how you install an air intake on a 2011 to 2014 Honda CRV. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will get back to you guys. If the video helped you guys out, please leave a like. And if you guys are looking for some more content on how to fix things, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.